I studied operations research, and during that time I was always interested in environmental applications, and I got an internship at the National Institute for Public Health and the Environment, and there I started working on integrated assessment models of climate change. And that was in the early 90s, and that was my introduction to models of humans and the environment. And the rest is history. One of the most important lessons relates to the kind of questions you need to ask. A lot of people want to make a kind of a micro world in a computer, but it's very important to think about the purpose of your model and tailor your model to that particular purpose. The assumptions you have to make really depend on the purpose of the model. So it's important to think about your research questions and the purpose of your model. As I mentioned, there are many uses of these kind of models, and one of the uses will be to inform policy, but don't expect that policymakers will kind of blindly follow any model outcomes. How we use models are often as one of the tools in interaction with policymakers. And when we are using that is more to help them to kind of impact their mental model, their learning, than to predict the future. So one of the models that I've been involved in recently was a model about water management in Mexico City. And there the model is aimed to explore different futures of water use and explore how different policies may impact the vulnerabilities of different neighborhoods in Mexico City. This is not aimed for prediction, and we are very clear to the policymakers about it, but they get kind of surprised about the consequence of their priorities, and then they can learn about it, and that's one of what I see as one of the important kind of contributions of models. In the past, when we developed these models, there was typically a one-man show where a few people were putting all these different components together without much knowledge of the underlying topics. Now we get more specialists who are interested in working together among disciplines, and one of the developments in which we are doing also at Arizona State University is to start working with other disciplines to connect different kind of model components. And it's required a lot of coordination because these different models need to kind of communicate with each other. And so one of the futures that we foresee is to have a kind of a cyber infrastructure in which you can connect different specialized models and run this in the cloud. And so instead of having groups who have their black boxes, these models will be more public, they will be open science, and people can connect and reuse different models. So that will be a future direction we envision, but it's challenging in terms of coordination among scientists who want to, of course, focus on their own special interest, but also a technical challenge. But it's a direction that we see will happen in the coming years.